In this video we're going to talk about surds, and I'm going to keep the video fairly short. I realise I do tend to go on a bit. Also apologise that I can't really pronounce that word, surds. It's probably my Dublin accent. Okay, so in completing the square in the next video, basically, in completing a square for quadratics and the quadratic formula, we're going to be left with numbers like this all the time. Fairly regular to have numbers like this. And we're going to have to learn how to deal with them. Now, luckily, calculators deal with them very well. So it's not an emergency if you get this wrong. But still, you're going to have to do a lot of sums on calculators if you can't move these around efficiently. So let me just jump into these questions as a way to show you. So feel free to pause it and have a go yourself. I would like to just make this a little different, a little neater. It's not going to look much different, to be honest. The 5, I'm not going to be able to do anything with it right now. In fact, never at all. But this square root of 18. Now, there's no square root of 18. 1, 4, 9, 16, 25. So no 18. Somewhere between 4 and 5. But you know what? There is square root of 9 and a square root of 2. And that's really the main thing we need to remember here. Square roots can multiply like this. And that answer, we can do square root of 9 then. So this becomes 5 plus 3 square root of 2. This is really what a surd is. A number multiplied by a square root. And this, we just find this a little neater. It's you'll see why in some other questions. This question, it didn't help too much. But 3 can never multiply 2. Be very careful of that. Whereas 9 can multiply 2. We'll learn more about this later when we learn about powers, and I'll do an entire class on how powers interact. But for now, just to point out that the square root of x is equal to x to the power of a half. That's but we don't write this all the time because this is just much quicker. It's very common. And then multiplying things, a to the power of a half multiplied by b to the power of a half is equal to ab to the power of a half. This is one of the rules we learn about indices, and multiplying, adding them, different things about them. But we cannot, ab to the power of a half does not equal any, well, let me write in, does not equal ab to the power of a half. Of course it doesn't, because if it did, then two things couldn't equal the same thing. So really, that's it. That's all I want to impress upon you. I will just do these 4 examples quite quickly. 3 minus square root of 28. Let's see, 28. What goes into that? Have a think. What numbers can go into it? Especially 1, 4. 1 goes into everything. 4, 9, 16, 25, and so on. In this case, 4 goes in. Square root of 4, square root of 7. Goes in 7 times. So that is 3 minus 2 square root of 7. So we will rather you write the answer like this than this. Maths teachers, this is. Also, in exams, sometimes we will ask you to write it like this. Now, the next one, it's important that we do it. So minus 7 minus square root of 98. Okay, minus 7. What goes into this? 2. Yeah. Oh well, 2 doesn't help. 4. No. 9. Oh, close. No. 16. No. 25. No. Maybe none of them. 36. No. 49 does. We got there in the end. Minus 49 square root of 2. Minus 7 square root of 2. Now, here we have something interesting. There's a 7 in both of them. I can actually make this a little neater. There's minus 7 in both of them. Minus 7 comes out, there leaves a 1 there, plus 1. Leaves a 1 here, a plus 1. This is how I would like this question. This is the simplest form of this one. Again, it's quite useful because maybe there will be other square roots of 2 around. It's very rare there will be a square root of 98 or 26, but there's lots of square roots 2, square root 7, square root 2 again. prime numbers. We like to get it down to its prime number. And the last example is 4. So 8 plus square root of 80. Lots of students think they can divide by 8. They can divide by 8. They cannot. It is 8 plus, what goes in here? I'm not sure. Let me think on it. $16? Yes, 16 goes in. Square root of 16. I wrote the question myself and I do not remember. Square root of 16 goes in 5 times. That is 8 plus 4 square root of 5. Now, here again, something goes into both of these still. 4 goes into both. We get 4, 2 plus square root of 5. 4 goes into this 2 times. 4 goes into this square root of 5 times. This is how I would like the answer kept on this one. Okay, not a big deal if you do not do this. It's not the most important thing. It will just be useful in the future if you have to add them to other things. But really, if you get good at your calculator, you'll be fine. Okay, I'll see you for the next few videos, which will be much more exciting, at least I think, for quadratic formulas. Goodbye and see you then.